Right now at noon, 50 people have been arrested in a prostitution ring, including one officer. We'll have the full details of the bust.
And we've got those sunny skies out there, mostly clear across the 4 states, warming up progressively across the area. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, a $1 million Powerball ticket sold in Northeast Kansas continues to go unclaimed. Could you be the lucky winner?
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy, and today's top story. Just before 6 a.m. on Sunday, Cherokee County Sheriff's deputies searched a Weir home for a wanted fugitive. The search resulted in the arrest of 26-year-old Destiny Grassi, who had outstanding warrants for her arrest from Cherokee and Crawford counties for various meth and burglary-related charges. Deputies located Grassi hiding under clothes in a back bedroom before apprehending her. Also arrested at the scene and transported to the Cherokee County Jail on allegations of interfering with law enforcement were 25-year-old Ryan Lindblom, 18-year-old Quincy Geppard, and 24-year-old Austin Barton. Oklahoma City Police have arrested 50 people in 2 days for offering to engage in prostitution. One of the arrested people is an Oklahoma City police officer. The department partnered with the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics for a sting operation.
We want to put an end to that. Over that 2-day operation, we arrested 50 individuals. The Oklahoma City Police Department coordinated with the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics Human Trafficking Unit. It's pretty typical. It's an unfortunate event, and they handle every case the same way regardless of who it is. There was conversation regarding the exchange of money in sexual acts. We impounded 48 vehicles to really help narrow down human trafficking. Everyone's going to be held accountable.
Authorities in Berry County, Missouri arrest a man wanted for assault and armed criminal action in McDonald County. Authorities say 40-year-old David Watkins beat a man with a 12-gauge shotgun during a fight this past July. He was found Saturday in a home in Cassville. He has since been transferred to the McDonald County Jail. And the Pittsburgh Fire Department held an open house yesterday for Fire Prevention Week. The purpose of the open house was to educate the community on fire safety through activities and discussions. Fire Prevention Week is officially October 8th through the 14th. However, Pittsburgh Fire Department will be raising awareness for the entire month of October.
All right, so as we get into October, which is Fire Prevention Month, we get out to the schools, we get out just to bring awareness for fire prevention, to prevent the emergencies that we respond to.
The Pittsburgh Fire Department conducted fire safety talks at area schools leading up to National Fire Prevention Week. Baxter Springs is remembering the 160th anniversary of Quantrill's attack on Fort Blair, a battle that was part of the Civil War. The 2-day event counts on reenactors in period attire, battle engagements, weapon and cannon firing displays, and an opportunity to travel back in time and learn more about local history.
A lot of times I try to stay to the era time-wise, because whenever we start up, I'll hide anything that's not period pieces. Of course, obviously, it's all got to be carried in new stuff today. We try to stay in the time period while we're doing this.
You're walking down the same course that our soldiers walk down. You can feel their emotions. You can feel the anxiety, the pain, the anticipation of what's going to happen.
The event happens every 2 years in Baxter Springs at the Baxter Springs Heritage Center and Museum.
And we were talking about having sunny skies through the day, and by golly, that is exactly what we've seen, as evidenced here by the MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line looking off to the north, not a cloud in the sky and plentiful sunshine at ground level. So yesterday started the day at 43, so well below where we should be for this time of year. But take a look at the highs, made it up to 75, only a degree warmer than where we should be for this time of year, which is great. It's nice to not be way over or way under on any of these. Our rainfall for the month, we're still about 0.3 of an inch above where we should be, but that will not last long if we don't get some additional rain. However, there is some additional rain in our forecast. We'll talk about that here in a few more minutes. Looking outside right now, Joplin, again, MoDOT camera 20th in range line showing clear skies out there, sitting at 68, also 68 in Pittsburgh. And again, you can barely see the skyline, but as evidenced by the sun on the ground, clear skies in Pittsburgh as well. So here's a look at what we're keeping an eye on today. Not much to watch. It's a sunny and pleasant day. Hard to use those, at least that word, in relation to Monday, but it is a great day out there. Now, our temperatures are going to continue to increase as we head into Thursday, and then we've got these storms building Thursday evening, and we're talking about the possibility, at least, of a 40-degree temperature drop as we head through Thursday evening into the overnight. We'll talk about that in the complete forecast and how cool it gets after that here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, a new movie combines time travel, horror, and comedy, and The Amazing Race runs into The Price is Right. Donna Backus has your Eye on Entertainment report.
It's Phil Kogan with your new SUV!
Tonight's Price is Right at Night celebrates 35 seasons of The Amazing Race on CBS. The reality show's host and executive producer Phil Kogan will come on down when Amazing Race fans compete as duos to win prizes fit for adventure.
Phil Kogan, everybody!
Catch The Price is Right at Night, followed by a new episode of the game show Loteria Loca, when an American Sign Language interpreter and an electrician vie for a cool million. Both air on CBS and stream anytime on Paramount+. Back to the Future meets Scream in the new time travel horror comedy film Totally Killer.
Excuse me, what year is it? 1987. Oh my God, I know.
The film follows present-day teenager Jamie, who's trying to undo the 35-year-old murders of her mother's friends by stopping the killer.
She is the one that's propelling the action forward, and she's actually hunting him, and she's not going to stop until she stops him because she can't, she needs to stop him.
Totally Killer is streaming now on Prime Video. And a new TV series promises to take a deep dive into the life of Paris Hilton. Based on her book, Paris the Memoir, the show is chronicling Hilton's journey from socialite to superstardom before the age of internet influencers. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And finally, the already historic Powerball jackpot is climbing once again. There were no big winners in Saturday night's drawing for the $1.4 billion prize. Monday's drawing is estimated to be at $1.55 billion. That's still the third largest prize in the game's history. The lottery says that the chances of you winning the grand prize are 1 in 292.2 million. No one has matched all 6 numbers since July 19th. And there's still an unclaimed $1 million ticket out there sold in Northeast Kansas. The Powerball ticket was sold on the 7th. There's also an unclaimed ticket sold in Southeast Kansas for $50,000. So be sure to check those numbers. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the 4 states region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon. After years of simmering tensions, the conflict between Israel and Hamas has erupted into open warfare. We'll have the latest developments straight ahead. And later, we're making a salt-crusted beef in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Stay tuned. Israel is at war with Hamas, striking back at the terror organization for its unprecedented and savage attack on Israeli civilians over the weekend. The combined death toll on both sides now exceeds 1,000, and the National Security Council confirms 9 Americans are among the dead. CBS's Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
Smoke rose above the Gaza City skyline Monday after repeated Israeli airstrikes, hitting more than 800 targets in Gaza so far. The numbers of dead and wounded continuing to climb. The vengeance follows Saturday's unprecedented surprise attack on Israel from the Hamas terror organization. Hamas broke through the barrier Israel uses to contain Palestinians inside Gaza and unleashed fury by land, sea, and air before gunmen went on a rampage, slaughtering hundreds of civilians and kidnapping more than 100 people.
It seems like Israel had no clue.
Former Israeli intelligence officer Gonen Ben-Itzak tells CBS News Israel was caught off guard, and he expects Hamas will use hostages as leverage to negotiate. Hostages like Noah Argamani, hauled away screaming on the back of a motorbike. Her distraught father says he wants the government to get her back only by peaceful measures. Here on Capitol Hill, House lawmakers are in a holding pattern with that speaker vacancy. Any additional aid to Israel would require congressional approval, which could be complicated without a speaker.
The United States stands with the state of Israel.
The USS Gerald Ford carrier strike group is on the way to the region, and the Pentagon is working to move weapons to Tel Aviv as questions swirl about Iran's direct or indirect involvement.
The Israeli Defense Forces are saying the same thing. Broad complicity for Iran, no sign of any immediate direction, although this is obviously something that we're going to continue to watch very closely.
The U.S. is also working to confirm if any Americans are among those being held captive. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Major U.S. airlines are suspending flights to Israel, and the State Department has issued travel advisories to the region over safety concerns. Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
Since many of us have the day off, thanks to today being Columbus Day, I have a historically fitting recipe that you can make as soon as tonight.
But first, we are keeping an eye on some pretty significant changes on the way in our forecast. We'll take a look at that when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So we promised sunny, clear skies this morning, and that is exactly what we are seeing across the area. In fact, we have many ways to show you these clear skies in case you're trapped inside an office or cubicle or something without windows. For example, our studio here, for logical reasons, there are no windows in it. So every so often we can just pull these guys up and take a look outside and see it's sunny, it's clear. Look at the blue sky there. MoDOT camera 20th and range line showing us that. Here's our camera from on top of the KOAM studios. Now, these aren't clouds and our building's not on fire that I know of. These are just some spider webs and stuff that have collected up there, but still, look, not a single cloud in the sky. And as we look at the KDOT camera again, 69 East 520th, just south of Pittsburgh, can't see the sky, but you can see the sunshine out there, and you can tell we've got those clear skies. And here's our camera at 7th and range line in Joplin, a little higher than all of those, because those traffic cameras we show you in Joplin are way down here on these traffic lights, so they're not as high as this. And take a look at these blue skies. I mean, there's not a cloud out there. We are sitting at 68, so not bad. We're warming up nice out there. Another concern, just as a heads up out there, we don't have any burn bans or anything to that effect, but the air is relatively dry. Dew point's only 44, humidity's at 42%, so the air is pretty dry out there. North breeze is at 10 miles an hour. Over in Pittsburgh, again, we've got the sunny sky, 68, northeast breeze at 7. Same thing with the dry air, 42 dew point, humidity only 38%. Temperatures around the area, as I mentioned, all of us were going to get in on these northerly winds as the day progressed, and we all certainly have. But take a look, as we mentioned too, points west, warmer than the rest of us. 75 Neodesha, 74 Independence, Newada, Parsons, 71 Iola, 69 Fort Scott, 67 Nevada, Lamar, Carthage, 69 Monette, Neosho, 73 in Miami. So we're not going to be that far off from what our average highs are. We're still looking at highs today right around the low to mid 70s across the area, and again some of our western counties, and they get a little bit warmer than that, but not significantly so. And we've got that north breeze still about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We head into this evening. Mostly clear skies continue. A bit on the chilly side. We're going to go mid-upper 40s out there with an east breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And for our Tuesday, maybe a few additional clouds, looking to be maybe partly cloudy, mid-70s, maybe some upper 70s, a little more out there. So warmer temps for sure, and the wind shifts out of the southeast at 5 to 10. And as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, the winds are really going to start to pick up ahead of this next system here. So our temperatures also pick up. We start going close to 80 by Thursday. Stray shower or two possible Wednesday evening, but our better rain and thunderstorm chances come Thursday evening. So again, this is where our 40-degree drop takes place. We go for a high of 80, and we will fall rapidly down to about 40, maybe even some of us into the upper 30s by late Thursday. We head into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, we want to remind you, of course, the eclipse day. We're looking at about 63 to 65% totality in our area, but we're going to have sunny skies to go out there and see it. Make sure you take precautions to see it. And a little bit on the cool side, might need a jacket. And we don't really recover that quickly in terms of temperatures. We hang out in the low to mid 60s heading into next week. We'll hold on also to calm conditions, some partly cloudy skies here and there. And our overnight lows a bit on the chilly side as well, low 40s and eventually back into the upper 40s. So very fall-like temperatures on the way after a brief warm-up over the next few days across the area.
I love it. Thank you so much, Chris. And stick around because we're making salt-crusted beef in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. It's time to check in with Howard in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Today he's making a dish that's easy enough for any night of the week, but fancy enough for the holiday dinners as well. It's called salt-crusted beef. Take a look.
Happy Columbus Day. Today, we're sharing a recipe that's inspired from the salted meats that Christopher Columbus and his crew had on board their ships. Our version is quite different, yet very tasty. Are you ready to discover what they did? The first thing we do is add some vegetable oil, a chopped onion, garlic, and a bit of black pepper to a gallon storage bag. Now we place a good-sized beef roast in the bag and let it marinate for a bit. Meanwhile, we line a roasting pan with a generous amount of kosher or sea salt that we mix with a bit of water and place our roast on top of it. Then we cover it completely with more of the salt mixture. You want to make sure the entire roast is encased in salt. Now this goes into the oven until the temperature of the meat hits about 135 for medium. That's when you know it's done. After it cools slightly, we whack it with the back of a soup spoon and watch the salt crust crack apart. What we end up with is a super juicy, super flavorful, and super easy dinner. And if you're wondering if the meat will be salty, the answer is no. The salt acts like a shell for it to cook in, and it keeps it moist. To get the recipe for our salt-crusted beef, please visit our website so you can make this tonight. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we discovered a moist and juicy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
To find this recipe along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now here's a look at the 4 state market prices.
All right, so again, pushing in low to mid 70s today, mid 70s tomorrow. Warming trend continues through Thursday near 80. Evening thunderstorms and a storm system kicking us down about 40 degrees from Thursday into Thursday night. And then we stay cool heading into the weekend, low 60s. And of course, don't forget about the eclipse on Saturday.
All right. What do you got for us tonight, Dow?
Well, tonight at 5, nearly half of women 40 and older who get mammograms have dense breast tissue. That's according to the National Cancer Institute. Yet many of them might not know or realize how it impacts their cancer risk. Plus, it's Columbus Day, but many celebrate Indigenous People Day to recognize Native Americans, and a sneak peek into a new Veterans Heroes Museum opening in Southwest Missouri. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A whole lot more, of course. It's all coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day.